My name's Colin Seis. I live here on property north of Mudgee, which is about 3 hours drive northwest of Sydney. It's in the Central Tablelands, New South Wales. My property Winona consists of 2,000 acres or 800 hectares. We run a few different enterprises here. Our main enterprise is merino sheep, as in wool production. My great-grandfather settled in this district here actually before the town of Gulgong was settled. In about the 1860s, the family's been farming here in this area, on this place, since that time. So I'm fourth generation on this farm here. My father did things very conventionally, high input farming. I certainly are doing things differently to that. In relation to what happened to me personally and why I changed, we had a major bushfire here in 1979, which destroyed 3,000 sheep and house and sheds and 70 k's of fencing and basically destroyed most of the infrastructure of the farm. For anyone that's been through a fire like that, that's just instant broke, no money. So I had to develop a land management technique to be able to run this farm without any money at all. And I guess then for the next, 30 years, I have been doing exactly that. That fire, even though it was difficult at the time, was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, in that it made me look at developing a totally new and different agricultural technique. The idea of restoring native grasslands. This farm now is dominated by over 80% perennial native grasslands. There's 60 different individual species on here. I restored the grassland because they don't need fertilising. I didn't have any money to do it any other way. As I started to restore Winona to a grassland, I really needed to then try to understand how to manage that grassland and how to keep it there and not lose it like we've done in the past. So I needed to manage it better in a grazing sense. Pasture cropping is sowing, as in zero tilling, a cereal crop, wheat or oats or barley, into a grassland or into perennial grasses without destroying the grasses. The great thing that it does is it enhances the grassland even more. It encourages perennial grass recruitment from seedlings. There's over 2,000 farmers in Australia using this technique, and there's growing numbers all over the world. Our farms should function as ecosystems. If they don't function as ecosystems, the wheels will just fall off. Basically, if we let nature drive it for us, everything will fall into place. It is really, really easy. Since I changed my management, I've saved over $2 million. That's over a 30-year period. I now no longer need to put fertiliser on my pastures. The fertiliser I use under my crops has been reduced by 70%. The reason that is that our soils are healthy and functioning, our soil carbon levels have doubled, water holding capacity has doubled. To be able to see change on this farm here, to be able to see just all the elements of nature just falling together and working well as it should is very inspiring. And then to be able to help other landholders, other farmers achieve that as well, that's really what inspires me.